What's up, everyone? I know it's been a while. I've been doing a lot of things, and speaking of which, I actually sold the FJ. And the cool story about that was I bought it for $19,500, and I put about 70,000 miles on it. So I bought it with 75,000 miles, so around 160. I sold it, and I actually managed to get $19,500 for it. So that was a dead even drop, and that was pretty cool. So it took me a while. I looked around for maybe a couple months. I was looking at a Boss 302 2012. I wasn't sure what I wanted, and I had a previous two-door JK, and I was thinking about maybe I should get the four-door, but never stuck with me. It just so happens that I was looking at a four-door JK Hardrock, and that was in Texas for $5,000 cheaper than it is here in California. So I figured, screw it, why not? And I went ahead and bought it. So here it is. It was stock, obviously, when I got it. I put a Sport T3 Terraflex lift, 3-inch. I have 285 Toyo MTs, basically 34-inch tall tires. And I got some Method fake bead locks. Also got the Terraflex HD tire carrier, so it doesn't even tie into the bumper, so you won't get any of that rattle. And it's been good ever since I installed it, along with the high lift jack. And it just so happens that the brake light barely clears it. So if you guys want 34-inch tall tires, don't hesitate. The other reason why I got 34s was because the gearing on this is 373, and I know that's not ideal for any tire size larger than what was given to it for stock form, but I eventually intended on going up to maybe 37s, but I'd have to go to 488s gearing wise. So that's actually why I went with the 285s. They're about 34-inch tall tires, because it's a happy medium and it still is drivable around the road. Let's see what else. Still has stock rock sliders. I got the Poison Spider flares. These are the steel ones, not the aluminum, because I don't know, these are tougher. I figured, why not get them with the spider shell coat too. Here's your standard 2.0 Fox shock with your resi, and inside that coil right there is the Terraflex speed bump. Now this is basically a hydro bump except with foam inside of it, so it's basically your secondary shock that prevents re-jarring or rebounding excessively when you fully compress your suspension right here, and then it'll want to tend to rebound pretty fast. But if this is dampened enough, it will kind of have a controlled release back up. That's the idea behind that guy right there. I also installed those Poison Spider cast diff covers along with the Fox ATS steering stabilizer. That thing's been pretty good so far. I have no complaints. Also, another big upgrade, probably one of the first upgrades I would recommend to do on your JK would be the steering system, basically the drag link and the tie rod. The reason why is because this is what I'm talking about right here, and then here's a drag link that goes up to the steering box up here. When I went off-roading the first time, I set this down on a rock. I didn't even do it that hard, and it just bent it up. So that is pretty weak factory form. This is 1.6 diameter chromoly, and it is a Terraflex product, so you can get this as a kit. And what's cool about these or this kit, I should say, is that the ball joints are adjustable. So if your ball joint starts to get loose on you, they give you a tool to go ahead and tighten it up to remove that free play. So this would be my 1-year review. I got it in July last year. So my overall thoughts would be, it's been a really awesome bitchin' car. I don't have any regrets. The only thing would be, choose your proper gearing. If you can't get the 410 gearing on this thing, go ahead and get it. Otherwise, if you plan on upgrading your gearing in the future, it doesn't matter. The Rubicons come factory with the 373 or the 410, so either one you're okay as long as you plan on upgrading tire size and upgrading your gearing too. It did come with the stubby bumpers that kind of stuck out here. They bolted in here, 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 and then all around the back. I took those off. One, you get more clearance. Two, it looks a lot better. And I've yet to get a winch. Probably go ahead and buy a Warren winch and put it in their super winch. As far as interior, I got the full leather package. Hardrocks come with it. Forgive my mess. We've got the Rubicon embroidery on the seat. Full leather seats on the back. Not bad, pretty comfortable, especially the front seats. There's the cup holders. Your window switches are right there, for those of you who don't know, because the Wrangler doors come off. So they'd rather not put them on here, it's less wiring, etc. I also have some ARB skids. One right there is for the evap canister, and the other is right up there, that big silver one going all the way to the front. That protects everything from the transfer case all the way up to the front, and it covers basically the oil pan for your engine. So that is kind of a must-have. I also have these ORE LED headlights. No complaints about them, they're pretty good. For those of you picky with beam pattern, you probably want to go ahead and go with a projector style. These are in a way kind of mini projectors, but they kind of project separately so you can see like the individual LEDs at nighttime. I personally don't mind it at all, and I wanted this look anyway, so I just went with it as well. I have taken the hard top off, let's say once. It's a pain in the butt if you try to do it yourself. I screwed up my back for a day or two, but I managed. But the cool thing about this guy, as most of you know, for those of you who don't, this is kind of cool. Here is I call it the T-top. I don't know if it's accurate, but here we go. So these two panels right here and right here come off, and your back panel stays on because that's the heaviest part. This is like basically a sunroof, but a lot bigger than your standard one in any other car. You just unclick these, go ahead and pull this back, unclip, and then unscrew from there, and they'll come right off. And it also came with a storage bag, so you can go ahead and put it in the back and strap them so they won't be flying around and they won't scratch each other. So that was kind of cool from Jeep. They do have the standard little Easter eggs. They had them in the headlights. Obviously I removed those, but let's see, as far as the windshield goes, here's a little Jeep in the corner. Don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, there we go. Here's your standard 3.6 liter Pentastar engine. A lot of people have been pretty happy with these. The original 3.6s that were put in the 2011s, I should say, or sorry, not the 2011, the 2012s, were having head issues, meaning the valves were ticking. So they took those back, fixed those up, sent those out, and then the next year they kind of fixed the whole solution, or fixed the problem, and they came up with the solution. I haven't had any issues with it. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I'm just gonna run with it. I might get an extended warranty because I've gone through 2 Jeep motors before. These vents up here are actually functional, if you want to call them that. Just those little tiny holes right there produce a little bit of ventilation, but not as much as they lead you to believe on the top of the hood. But it still adds for a bitchin' look. In lieu of this car, actually, beforehand I had thought about getting another one to kind of compensate for this guy, because this one is basically a gas guzzler. Before I chipped it, I was getting maybe, I want to say 11 miles per gallon. So that of course was with the tire size being off because I didn't recalibrate the PCM to compensate for that. So when I did that, now we're sitting at like 13 or 14, but that's still too low for a daily driver. So I went ahead and saw a deal online. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. I'll go ahead and clean it up because it's dirty like this one, but that'll be a later reveal. But go ahead and take a guess as to what it is. Obviously it has to be fuel economic, but I didn't go out and buy a Prius. I just couldn't bring myself to do that. So it is something really cool. It is sporty in a way, and I'm really happy for it. And the monthly payments for it, it's a lease, are super low. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me, and it's been helping me save tons of money with this guy. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.